Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome back, everyone, for episode 474 of the Massenomics podcast, the lifting podcast about nothing. My name's Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
Oh, said it before. I'll say it again. Riding them pre-show waves over here, aren't we?
This pre-show is just a party, man. The numbers are growing.
New pre-show PR this week. Big numbers in the pre-show.
We don't throw this around casually, but I think they are growing exponentially in there.
That's by factors of 10. Absolutely growing exponentially, I believe. So, yeah, if you're a supporting member and you're not listening to the pre-show, I've got one question for you.
Now what the hell are you waiting for?
Yes. Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
So this week's episode is brought to you by our fine, upstanding friends over at Juggernaut AI. It's designed by none other than one and only Chad Wesley Smith. It's the smartest, most intelligent programming for you. It is an app on your phone. Download it. Pay your subscription, use discount code Massenomics, save 10%. It ends up being about $30 per month. Just talking to more people locally that we're getting signed up with it here recently. It's spreading like wildfire in Massenomics Gym because people see other people using it and they're like, what is that? I need to start doing that. And more just keep using it there for that reason once they get their eyes on it. So I do think there's a free trial. If you're on the fence, go check it out at juggernautai.app. And once you get sold on actually signing up, through the web browser, use discount code Massenomics. That's what saves you 10%, and it's great for us also. Thank you, Juggernaut AI.
Would you say it's spreading like a grease fire that has had the winds of western, northeast, South Dakota fan it to an even greater...
greasy old grease fire, and people keep dumping water on it, trying to put it out, and it just gets growing greasier.
Oh, joke's on you. I love water.
That's how greasy it's getting.
Wow. Sounds really, really serious.
Yeah.
Okay. This episode is also brought to you by Texas Power Bars. Texas Power Bars are some pretty amazing bars to use in your lifting career. We are partial ourselves towards the classic Texas Power lifting bar because you can take on Tanner's challenge of the double overhand Texas Power Bar deadlift challenge with it. If you have yourself one of those where you load up as much as you can deadlift for double overhand 10 reps, and you need the original Texas Power Bar if you're going to take on that challenge. If you already have one of those, though, you can get the Texas deadlift bar, the 29 millimeter Texas Power Bar, maybe even a Texas squat bar or bench bar. All great options, aggressive knurling, tons of finishes. It's a classic. You can't go wrong with it. So if you would like to buy one, head on over to texaspowerbars.com. And right now, for a limited time, you can get free shipping on all of your bars. Thank you, Texas Power Bars.
And if you haven't ordered a Texas Power Bar yet, I've got one question for you.
Now what the hell are you waiting for?
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. Jay-Z and Linkin Park said it best, didn't they?
They certainly did.
If I had a nickel for every time I said that.
A whole lot of nickels.
Be rich off nickels over here. Oh, we've got an exciting episode this week. We've got a title topic coming up and a handful of several other topics we're gonna get to on this one. We're gonna maybe do some supporting our supporting members, look at a certified training facility, and just all kinds of stuff. Do we start? Are you drinking a Beveragino over there?
I'm about to be. Ooh.
That was crispy.
Yeah. Yep, that's a Kirkland lime. I'm sure everyone could tell by the sound.
I thought it sounded limey. I couldn't tell if there was lemon or if it was just lime in there.
That's just lime.
Oh,
Is that a cola?
yeah, it's liter of cola. Could you tell?
LaCroix cola.
LaCroix liter of cola, they call it.
Damn.
Liter of cola. Do we have liter of cola?
Good stuff.
Oh, that pops. Got it right here in my Drink Spotter XL. You can get those at Massenomics.com. Okay, well, first things first, I think we need a Malibu update.
It's still sitting in my driveway.
Yeah,
I have not moved it yet.
for all of us on Team Malibu,
You know,
can't.
Is that intentional, subliminal? I don't know. It hasn't moved yet, though.
So you're telling us all that there's still a chance.
There is still a chance that it will be here a week from now. You know, technically, insurance covers a month of having it, so I got 30 days to enjoy it still.
How's that work? Like, what do you?
My
saying
insurance
there?
agent said when you get a new car, you have 30 days of coverage on the old one still before you get charged for more. If you're gonna,
let's go monster truck shit with it.
yeah.
It's covered.
You know, I can't say for sure if that's how insurance works, but I don't have enough to say otherwise. So you got a good point there.
It's all covered. Well, this monster. So it's still in the family.
It still is. Yes, it is.
All right. Excellent. You do love to hear that. And you're not no regrets yet about potentially the thought of getting rid of the Malibu?
Regrets about the thought of getting, well, I don't have any regrets about the thought of it. I mean, I haven't done anything yet though. So
Right.
I mean, the real regret will be how I feel when I see it driving away down the road. That'll be the real test, you know.
I bet
That
you'll
day ever comes.
be like, it's just something in my eye.
No, just allergies really bad.
It's just the exhaust from that that 15-year-old Detroit V6.
That's all it is. Just a little exhaust in my eye.
Oh, I got a little exhaust in my eye. That's what it is. But you still like the Beamer then?
It's pretty freaking sweet, man. It's I mean, people that buy nice cars, I'm probably just sound like an idiot, but man, it's so crazy how nice they can make a car now. Like, I know how dumb that sounds, but
hey, I totally get it. I bought a new pair of shoes recently.
You separate yourself from the ground with something a little nicer, and you're like, how do they do this? Yeah, it is just it's sweet, man. It's really cool.
Yeah. Have you found out any new features about it that you didn't know existed? Or did you pretty much have the owner's
Well,
manual?
I have watched a lot of YouTube videos, really, you know, the infotainment nowadays, you know, when we put the computers in the car, there's just so much you got to know, but some
used
little
to be a proper friggin' country.
I know. There's some little
Proper
tips and
friggin'
tricks, you know,
country.
you can they have just like the old days where you had your 1 through whatever buttons for the radio stations. You know, the
Right.
You can program those buttons to do like anything you want. So it's like, oh, I program button 1 to kick me over to CarPlay, and program button 2 to just turn off the screen for me. And like, so you can have these shortcuts built in, which is something kind of cool that I think a lot of people don't know.
And you can literally program them to do whatever you want.
Anything
You're like,
you can think of. Anything.
I want this button to purchase a pair of supporting membership from Massenomics.com.
Yep. It connects. That's all it does.
I like to think that's how it works. But it might not work that way.
It probably does. I don't know.
Who are we to guess? Okay. Big announcement. Hadn't even teased this announcement yet, but they got a big announcement here. There is. Oh, wait. So that covered the Malibu update. Just before I close the chapter, anything else on the Malibu? Have you driven the Malibu a mile since you've gotten your new car?
It has not actually left my driveway since the day I got my new car. It has been parked and not moved at all.
It probably feels pretty lonely, I bet.
It's actually pretty average for the mileage for it. You know, it didn't drive much before, so it was par for the course here.
It's not much different.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Back to the big announcement, and this is big. this is a big announcement. We've got some details on a upcoming strength event right here in South Dakota coming up soon, as a matter of fact. So this episode will come out in May. This episode will come out about May 4th and May 5th. And the exciting news is that there's a big crew meetup for anyone involved that wants to come hang out and lift with us. It's a Build Fast Formula meetup in Watertown, South Dakota. We're going to go lift at Build Fast Formula HQ in Watertown on the 17th of May. That's a Saturday. And it is open-ended. If you're a crew and you want to, if you're a supporting member, if you're a lifter in the area or however far you want to travel, we'd love to have you come. The Build Fast Formula team would love to have you come. We'll probably have a little bit of Vaso Blitz, and
we'll be doing a little Vaso Blitzing, we'll be mixing the formulas, you could say.
Yeah. The throwdown in Watertown is back, so to say, as Anthony put there. And that's May 17th. Exact time to be TBD a little bit. I don't know if it'll start in late AM or early PM, one of those two options probably. And we're going to go have some Build Fast Formula supplements and do a little lifting. And the timing's sweet because we're approaching nearer and nearer to the 2025 Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic. And there's cool training going on. A lot of people, you don't have to be competing in the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic to come lift and hang out that day at Build Fast Formula HQ. But because a lot of people are competing in the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic, and because it's right at 2 months out, there's going to be people doing a lot of serious lifts.
Yeah, I'm actually just looking.
That just makes it fun.
Interesting. That's, I think.
Anthony says that's RPE 10 day for him.
For bench. For deadlift, it's like a down day, but for bench, that is an RPE 10 day, I think. So I'll probably just scoop my bench back that week. I think that's what I did last year. That's what I did last year too, actually. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's working out perfect.
The stars are aligned. I'm going to bench that day also and try and do a relatively heavier bench that day, I think, too.
Yeah.
So that's really all the details. Anything else about that now? I mean, a little bit.
It was so much fun last year. We showed up. I think we sat around and talked for probably an hour before we did anything.
Yeah.
Ate some donuts. Got some Build Fast Formula in the system. Started warming up. Had a great workout. And then we shot some videos there last year, actually, afterwards, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I'm not sure that we're shooting any videos this. Who knows? Maybe something will come up. But mostly the plan is to hang out with the crew and lift.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we get a decent group back together for that.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
Nathan and Abby are hosting again.
So if you live within a 10-hour area, think about driving in for the day. You'll have a great time.
Hell, just fly in. Watertown's got some sort of airport, right?
If you're in the Denver area, you can fly directly to Watertown. Very easy.
Yeah.
I've heard those flights are
that's
actually
right. They
cheap
do have
too.
direct flights from Denver.
Yeah, I think
actually, that is true. If you lived really close to Denver, it would be probably pretty cheap to get there for it.
I think you can get those flights for like $150 or something, maybe $200.
Yeah.
Just to go lift in Watertown on a Saturday. I mean, what else would you want to do?
There is nothing else. Jake says Chicago as well.
Well, there you go.
Excellent. Build Fast Formula meetup. We'll talk about it a little more probably next week, and then it'll be here before we know it. Mm-hmm. Also, we leave in, I don't know,
just a little over 2 days.
We leave in 2 days for our Ohio gym tour. Ohio/Indiana gym tour, actually.
That's going to be a
slash table talk episode.
You know, we always go to Ohio in March, and I've always wondered, what is Ohio like in May? So I'm really glad we're going in May this time.
When did we go last year?
Didn't we go? Wasn't that October?
Or was that last year? I don't know
2
if
years ago.
Last year's the right, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that like October? It was the fall. It was a rainy fall. So
you're saying like
day.
October of 2023?
I think so, yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Big Joey says either September or October 2023.
Yeah, it was one of those two.
Yeah. So yeah, we've never been. I've never been to Ohio in May. I don't think.
just March and September. That's it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure May's a
Finally
totally
May.
different game.
Yeah. Jake asked a question: how will you differ this table talk from the last episode? Like, what's the new angle, etc. Well, the beauty of it is we're not the host of the show, so
That's what I've been wondering too.
Yeah. But when you're on Table Talk, you do fill out a pre-episode questionnaire, and we did. We offered up a few different things that we didn't talk about last time, and like a big change has been YouTube and like the home gym. Just how much more we're into home gym community in terms of Tommy having a home gym now, and like us pumping out 30 home gym tours. So that will be a little bit more of the discussion, maybe even like a little bit of the equipment side of it.
Yeah, I could see equipment and content being a little more. I don't think Dave talks content with people very often, and it's very much on his mind. You know, when you're looking at those posts recently about, he's always talking about the feasibility of the podcast and what they need to do to keep it going. So he's clearly thinking about this stuff, but you never really hear him talk about any of that. So I'd be curious how much of that we go down.
Yeah, I'd say we're for sure going to talk about that. And I think the equipment side of it too, as him, someone at least a retailer of equipment, that'll be an interest. And like just the rise of the home gym popularity and like what effect that's got on him and that sort of thing.
It's like we have a lot in common with him or something.
Yeah. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And we've got all of our home gym tours pretty much lined up now too.
I think so. They're set in stone. They cannot be broken, or you're forever blacklisted.
One thing, when we started Massenomics 10 years ago or whatever it was, one thing I didn't know I was going to be is like a trip coordinator, like an interesting role at Massenomics.
The itinerary builder.
Yeah, an itinerary trip coordinator which is a very, I guess I've never really done that in my life, professionally or just personally. Where like it's probably a unique thing that doesn't come up that much, but it's juggling like 12 people's schedules.
It's not even really the trip, because what you're saying is,
you're right.
When you say trip,
it's like
most people would think, oh, you go online,
not
you buy
the
a
travel
plane
arrangements.
ticket. That's the easy part, actually. The hard part is talking to 12 people and getting them to line up in a certain number of days that it actually works out to all do gym tours.
Well, and like, and we have to geographically follow a path, and then also to line those up in time with everyone else's schedule to make that work. And we have to have probably twice as many options available as we're actually going to end up with ones that we can really do, because some people can't, some doesn't work out with time, you have to have double the options almost just to even get drilled down to what's actually going to work. Unfortunately, that means we don't make it to some, but good question here from Big Shalom. Any chance for a mini meetup near Northeast Ohio on Sunday? Yes, I'm really glad you brought it up. For anyone that wants to meet up, the meetup on Sunday in Northeast, that's North. Cleveland is Northeast. Right?
Yeah, and it's funny that you're saying this, because the only people this is relevant to are the people in the Discord right now, because everyone else here, this will be too late.
Oh, that's right. Well,
you can still discuss
act like you got to do it. Yeah, like this is actually a good reminder to bring it up in the Discord.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to have a little meetup for a late lunch at Ohio Pie Co. in Brunswick.
Whatever the south one is, whatever the one that has the dining room actually is.
Yeah, it's the one. I think it's Brunswick, and that'll be approximately at 2 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. Any crew in the area? We've got at least like 5 plus us that are already said that they're going to make the trip. So goes out to anyone and everyone else that wants to come eat a little Ohio Pie Co. with us that afternoon.
Be a great time.
Yeah. So more on that trip, like, I guess when we record next week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually just completely forgetting that this is how
soon it is.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Gonna be a blur.
Yep. Just like song 2.
Woohoo! I'm close about that. You know, I was thinking the other day the woo, and then it goes the Ronnie Coleman song. You know, you remember those memes?
Yeah, I thought about those the other day, and I was always sad that those didn't go off better than they did. Yeah, I thought some of them were so funny.
Yeah, there was the Taylor Swift one.
Yeah,
you were in trouble when you walked in.
Yeah, yeah. I love those and it was kind of like a series of
because I remember you sent me like the first one of those.
Yeah,
and I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. I was crying, laughing, and then just texting back and forth. Yeah, I can't remember what came
it's
first.
like song ideas then at that point.
The song too, the Taylor Swift, and I think there was one other one. Yeah. And I'm like, this is it. This is as good as it gets. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, that song 2 one is good.
Oh, it was so funny.
I'm like, that is really good.
We'll have to see if we can track those down. Maybe they're due for a re-release here.
Right. That's a friggin' shame that those didn't go more viral than they did.
I thought those were so
absolute
funny.
Friggin' shit. Yeah, what was the Taylor Swift one? Oh, yeah, it was like trouble. What is that song?
I don't know.
Yeah,
there's the one of it cuts in Nicolas Cage from whatever that is.
Right.
And I don't even know.
I did. That was the first one I did. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. When he screams, he's got like the bees on his head. But instead of it cutting to Nicolas Cage, it
cut to Ronnie
Coleman screaming.
Yeah. That was good.
Classic.
It was a classic. Okay, we're going to talk, title topic later is going to be kind of Facebook groups, do's and don'ts, that sort of thing. Do we hop into supporting our supporting members yet, or do we want to talk about anything else first?
That's fine.
Okay, we'll just do it. I guess we make the rules, right?
Yeah, it's our show.
I didn't really write down any supporting our supporting members beforehand, but luckily we have a whole channel for that in our Discord. Supporting our supporting members is a relatively new segment of the podcast where we give back to those that give to us. So if you want to become a supporting member, head over to massenomics.com/join. It is legitimately the number one way that you can support Massenomics and our podcast and everything else that we're doing. It is one of the, if not the most important, that keeps the whole Massenomics machine running. So if you're a listener, an enjoyer, whatever it is, consider becoming a supporting member. It's a relatively minimal to moderate fee to join up, I guess. So please check it out.
Financial commitment, whatever.
Whatever you want to say. Just generally speaking, I would say the crew tube is still just popping off like crazy of all the supporting members with their YouTube channels. So you love to see that. Bryce is going hot and heavy on it. Jake posting, Big Garrett posting videos on his. Then it looked like there was a big crew lift at Brookings Barbell Club. Big Mo hosted there where who all was there? It was Jake, Perfect Little Sweetie, Garrett again was there. What else did we have going on this week? Big Bowen placed first at the Easter Egg Classic.
Oh.
So congratulations there to Big Bowen. Then Big Wes had a little meetup, little Northwest Idaho meetup. Big Wes went over to Big Frog's gym. I think they did a little lift-in and a little meetup there.
Nice.
So another crew meetup. And basically, that meetup came about because of the certified training facilities. I mean, it 100% did. And they got to meet up because of that. I think Big Robo was meeting up with Big Keith at the No Wine Cellar also.
I did see that.
And then Big Kurt has, speaking of CrewTube, was sharing his piano recital with him playing, what was it? I can't remember the song that he was playing. It says, does a piano recital count as a competition? I heard there are some fans of N64 music here, so I figured I'd share what I've been playing on Strongman on Friday. So that's Big Kurt. Kurt's new brand is the YouTube channel.
Very nice.
Then one last crew meetup. It was Big Chad, Big Chris, and Big Keith at the No Wine Cellar again. All kinds of crew meetups. you too could become a supporting member and get to meet lifting friends across the world if that's what you want to do.
And trust me, that is what you want to do.
That is what you want to do. How about a certified training facility of the week?
It's quickly becoming one of my favorite parts of the show.
Yeah, it's up there. Let me find our prior ones. So last week we're in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
We've so far been to Florida, Idaho, Wisconsin, and Virginia. You feeling anything in particular?
Kind of feeling
what
like
about the great state of Texas?
I was just going to say, I'm feeling a little Tex-Mex here.
Yeah. All right. I don't know if there's any particular region. I think you would just find someone that's got a picture. So if you don't know what a certified training facility is, you head over to massenomics.com/certified. That's how you become a certified training facility. You can sign up your application for the program there. We have a couple hundred of these certified training facilities across the globe right now, and you can look at our map there and find all the certified training facilities. Click on them, find out more about them, become one. And if you are already a certified training facility, get yourself send us some pictures of your gym there so we can add them to the map, because the pictures of the gyms really are kind of partly of what makes the map really cool, in my opinion. So get the photos over to us and we'll get those added. And each week when we pick one of these, we're only picking ones that have photos because we like to talk about it and look at what we can see in the pictures. So that's kind of part of the deal, honestly.
It's the whole deal.
Okay. Was there anyone in particular you had your eye on? I found a couple that could be options
you
here.
Pick.
So
you pick.
Here's one. Beer Belly Brigade. And it's in Sanctuary, Texas, which is right around the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Okay, I'm zooming in.
And he's got a picture for us there.
Yep. Okay, damn.
So Sanctuary, Texas, this is at Lance KFWD on Instagram. Gym name is Beer Belly Brigade, and it's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Certified. You can see right. First thing I notice in the picture is the certified training facility flag he's got there.
For sure. Okay, is that, or is that one of those Zercher harnesses hanging from there? Do you see to the left? That's not a power pole, is it? You see what I'm talking about?
No, where at?
To the left of the certified training facility flag, by those medicine balls.
Oh,
there's that black harness hanging.
That's not the power pole. It's almost a power pole.
It's just the Zercher harness thing.
Yeah, it's the Zercher harness. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm like,
does this have a
power pole in here?
Right.
All right. No. Okay. So first impressions, this looks like a very cool gym. It's got that old school vibe to it, but it's also got a lot of newer, nice looking things too. Are these strength co plates down here in the corner? Maybe those black ones. They're very black.
Yeah, they might be Rogue.
Yeah, I can't quite tell. It's a little too dark.
Yeah.
But we got a collection of things here, though. We have a back wall with a variety of dumbbells on it.
Yep.
There's also a shelf full of, probably the biggest collection we've seen of fat bells so far.
Oh, yeah. And he's got a bunch of medicine balls up there.
Yeah, got a pretty big set of fat bells, actually. You don't see that too often.
He's got nice storage system set up there in the gym.
He's got, it looks like an Eleiko chalk bowl back there, too. Do you see that one?
Oh, yeah.
That wouldn't be something
that's
you would
cool.
see too often.
He's got power blocks. Is that a power block stand back there?
Yep.
He's got a lot of dumbbells. What's he need those power blocks for?
He's got the vertical dumbbell stand. And a lot of dumbbell options. A lot of plates too. If you look around,
I think some of those dumbbells
plates.
are round heads too. York round heads. Some of them are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does. And he's got a big hex trap bar in there. He's got a 9-bar vertical bar holder that's full, and he's got a bar on the bench. So he's got at least 10 barbells in this gym. Looks like I see axles. I see multi-grip bars. Is that a combo rack or is that its bench?
No, that is a combo rack.
That's a combo rack, so that's where he's squatting then too. Because there's not a squat rack to be seen besides that.
Not from this photo. I would not be surprised because there's also machines in this photo.
Yeah.
Which means that there's more room that we're not seeing. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was a squat rack somewhere else too, just given how much stuff he has. But yeah, what do we got? A Life Fitness bicep curl machine and a drink spotter on there. You see the drink spotter in the corner?
Oh yeah. What is the Life Fitness machine?
It's
What
a
machine is it?
bicep curl machine.
Well, that was just one of the machines we talked about in our recent episodes.
Yeah, that's right. Very specific isolation movement.
The whole place is just covered in horse stall mats.
Yep. Which
What's the machine or whatever on the left, very left edge?
it looks like
the
a prowler,
picture?
I think.
Oh, okay, that's a prowler.
Doesn't
over
it?
there.
Like
What's
a
that
s-
red bench with the hole in the face? Is that like a row?
Well,
is that for
I
rows?
wasn't totally sure what that is. That would make sense though, right?
Yeah,
Because it kind of looks like a chiropractor's table.
Yeah, right. That's kind of what it reminds me of.
I'm not sure I've ever
isn't
seen one of those in a gym before, though.
it? Yeah, he's got the 8-bit powerlifting flag in the
Mhm.
gym, of course. And, I mean, this is garage or shed vibes or it's an outside building.
Yeah, because you got that
Yeah.
that corrugated steel look on the walls.
maybe unattached from a house.
Mhm.
If I had to guess, detached. Maybe we'll say detached. Biggest thing I want to know, Tommy, your thoughts on? Do you think you could get strong there?
Oh hell yeah!
Oh hell yeah, brother! I think you get strong there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing I'd say, if you haven't become a certified training facility yet, then
Now what the hell are you waiting for?
Mm-hmm.
what the hell are you waiting for? Get on the list, become a certified training facility, and you too, like Beer Belly Brigade, could become a certified training facility of the week. Okay. Should we get close to kicking live listeners off? And
Yeah, probably about that time.
okay, it is about that time. While you do that, I want to talk again about Build Fast Formula. Check them out at buildfastformula.com. We have the Build Fast Formula crew meetup on May 17th. Like we said, we'll be slinging back. Sure, the Vaso Blitz and Full Blitz will be flowing like wine out of their water fountains in Build Fast Formula HQ. We'll also be mixing up some 80-20 protein after workout to wash the whole workout down with.
Someone
You
might
can do
have
the
the
same
nickname
thing
of the chemist by the time the weekend's done.
Yes. There's going to be a lot of Build Fast flowing in there. I got a feeling. And you could flow with Build Fast also at buildfastformula.com. Use discount code Massenomics. It'll save you 10% every time you order from there. If you sign up for any product on a subscription, that saves you 10%. You can stack the two. If you order within the U.S., you actually, and you spend over $100, you get free shipping. So deals on deals on deals over at buildfastformula.com.
All right, they're out of here.
And live update. The Timberwolves are off to an early lead in the first quarter of Game 5.
Okay, that actually was, well, should we do basketball talk now or later? Maybe we should get to the title topic and then do
Yeah,
basketball
we better
talk.
do title topic. That's
Yeah.
kind of an end of show.
Yeah,
That's
because
kinda
I was
feels like an
all
end of
right.
show
I'm actually
topic.
very excited to ask you about that. I
These-
intentionally have not asked
we
you
got-
about it at all because of this.
We got to consider the feelings of those people that are just coming to our YouTube channel and video because of the title, and
Right.
they've already had to endure 34 minutes of our bullshit, and they're like, "You motherfuckers, you start talking about the title topic, or else I will leave a comment on your YouTube channel about it."
No, not basketball. No.
No, you promised me you were going to talk about Facebook groups, do's and don'ts. That's why I'm
Give me
here.
my Facebook groups now.
So that is our title topic then, kind of, right?
I think so. We don't even know. We'll have to see what our dastardly little minds come up with for the actual name for this, but we're just going to talk about some observations we've had surrounding Facebook groups and even to a certain extent Reddit and maybe even Discord communities. You could almost just say online communities in general in the strength and equipment space. Some things that we've noticed over the past few months that we think there's some rules that we think maybe we understand where they're coming from, but I also think that they kind of hurt the overall engagement and point of the communities.
Right. And we have maybe a different perspective than some as content.
If there's one thing
creator.
I've learned from Massenomics, it's that we do have a different perspective than some. That's the one thing I've learned over the years. Our perspective,
our perspective. It is, our perspective is built different. So we do have, I mean, just as a content creator though, like sometimes we look at it slightly different than others might. I mean, there's a ton of content creators about it too. So a lot of people listening will relate to it too, but I don't know. So what have you noticed, or should I?
Well, I think the first thing we've noticed,
chime in,
and this is probably going to sound self-promotional, but whether it's the main one is Facebook groups, I think, with this, but then even in some Discords and even in Reddit to a certain extent too, there is this rule of either no external links or no self-promotion. And really it's the no external links one. Or is that the actual rule? No external links? Am I getting that right?
I mean, I think the phrase a lot of times people use is no self-promotion, but I think the tipping point is typically external links. You know,
And-
like that we're like, an external link, now that's self-promotion.
And so I guess what I'm getting at with this is if you look at the discussion in a lot of these communities, there is no discussion. The discussion is, look at my home gym. Look at my home gym. It's not much, but it's mine. 5 years, finally done. Haha, just kidding, never done. It's a start. It's got to start somewhere. Just made an upgrade. And what do all those posts have in common? It's just a person posting a picture of their gym, and that's it. And that's outside of the really bad, just what do you put on the flooring? What do you put on the floor? Outside of the people that are clueless, 90% of the posts are just, here's a picture of my gym. And I hadn't been in the home gym community very long. It's really only been about a year for me. And in the beginning, once I started getting more into this, I started looking more at, well, actually, the Facebook group just started this past fall, or whenever that was. And then, you start looking at whether it's Discord or Reddit. Reddit was a bigger one for me. And, what are people talking about? What are people saying? And you quickly realize they're not really talking about anything, and they're not really saying anything, because you can't hardly talk about things that are taking place because it involves posting external links or acknowledging that there's a world outside the platform that you're on. And it's really annoying that people are making cool shit, talking about things, doing things, but you almost can't acknowledge that that exists because it either is self-promotional or it's conflicting with whoever is in charge of these groups. And I get it to a certain extent, but at the end of the day, the groups kind of can't be groups for enthusiasts because of these rules.
Right. Yeah. I guess fundamentally I'm slightly torn because I am a guy that likes some I like a framework for it, but the problem with the framework is it discourages the good stuff. Because just like you said, it's all the crappy, the stuff that can get through is a lot of times the crap. And I'm like, I wish people were using this to share like the good stuff that I actually want to see,
Right.
And you kind of can't.
Like I would not have one problem at all. Let's just say, we know, okay, so the Facebook one is compromised because for several reasons. One, it's way too big. And I'm talking about the home gym community one. It's way too big. What's it, 300,000 members or whatever.
Yeah.
And then because Coop is in it with Garage Gym Reviews, I mean, it's his group. So by default, they're going to do things that are a little self-serving in protecting their interests.
Which is probably,
it's fair, but also
it's what we do. But it's also like
those two things alone, I've quickly realized that makes that group kind of outside of people, like I said, posting photos of their gym and, hey, here's a sale on this, or is this a good deal? That's 90% of the posts in there right there. Like that's, I just told you look what I got today, or, is this a good deal on this? Like, that's pretty much all that exists in there. And I've gotten really burnt out on it super fast because I'm like, there's nothing new hardly happening here. There's the occasional drama or something, but you're not allowed to talk about, it seems like you're not allowed to talk about just what people are doing in the space. So content creators or just anything that's made outside of Facebook, you're not really allowed to acknowledge unless it's like something that a company's making. You know, someone can post a photo of the new rep bench and be like, oh, really cool bench. Got it today. Got, what's it, the Nighthawk or whatever the hell it is.
Right.
Got the Nighthawk. Cool and whatever. And that's about as, it's just very surface level because, you know, you can't
post any links or
you can't post any links, and like people aren't going to do a huge, massive write up on Facebook on it. But I don't know. It's kind of lame. And where we've seen some of this now personally affect us. I shouldn't say personally affect us, but we have done, and this is going to sound really self-promotional, but we've done what we think are some pretty cool gym tours that we think would be very relevant.
Have the best gym tours.
To be very relevant to most people in that space. And what's funny is,
I mean, extremely hyper specifically relevant and interesting to the people in those groups.
right.
Like,
And like
it
we
couldn't be more like catered for the people in that
and I
group,
think we've
actually.
made, I think maybe you've posted something in there. And I get it, self-promotional. Okay, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But even other people have posted some things, but you're not really allowed to acknowledge that things exist outside of Facebook because that's breaking the rules. So here you have this group full of people. And if someone came in and took a really shitty video with their phone, a vertical video, and posted and been like, this is my gym, that's allowed. But the second you say, hey, here's so-and-so's gym.
Here's a really good tour of it.
And it's on YouTube and it's from this other content creator. Yeah, that's when you're not allowed to acknowledge that hardly exists.
Yeah.
And I think there could be a lot, like, I don't care. Okay. If you know, if Gluck was in there or Coop, I mean, Coop doesn't even really post his videos in there, but I that would not bother me at all if people wanted to post those in and even just have it be another discussion area, you know, like, because YouTube comment discussions aren't necessarily the best area either.
Right.
So same for that matter, if that was the thing in Reddit, because that's not how the Reddit works either. I bet if you pulled up Reddit right now, of the top 20 posts on the home gym Reddit, probably 15 of them are just a single photo of someone's gym and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's just made it really, really lame checking into that. So.
Well, and we know, I mean, all the people that run it and all the moderator. I mean, Brandon's a moderator, and I mean, that would be like, you can't moderate that group because, I mean, actually half of it is just spam.
Oh,
too.
it is, yes.
Like, it's just complete crap.
Yeah, I'm not saying like these guys are doing anything wrong. I'm just saying this is like inherent flaws in these platforms.
Right.
And the rules that exist because of the size of them and the number of people involved.
Yeah. Like another maybe anecdote about it is like the vintage weight groups that I'm in on Facebook. So we just did like this Efren tour, and we did 2 videos on that I think are 2 of some of the best videos that exist on
And
YouTube
Efren,
about vintage weights.
One of the foremost collectors in the world.
Yes.
You know,
and
a look inside his gym, which is rarely seen. You know, he doesn't let anyone in there, and he doesn't post a ton of photos.
And there again, Efren is one of the people that runs the page, and other people, they're probably listening to this, but it's odd to me that there would have to even be a discussion about if that video can be posted in the group or not. Because I'm like, okay, let's forget about the self-promotion, or like let's just stop thinking about that for a second and ask yourself, do the people of this group, would they like to be aware of this video that exists?
Is this relevant to them?
The answer is there is maybe not a video that exists on YouTube that is more relevant to them. And this
You
exact
could say there's
group.
been very few posts in that group probably in the last week that are more relevant to them than this single one.
Yes. And then I'm like, okay, so we know the answer to that. That should be the guiding principle to me.
Right. It should be.
Yeah.
It should be.
Right. That is when you answer that question, you're like, oh, would people like to in this group like this content? Oh yeah, every single person in this group would like this content. Is this content driven towards the purpose of this group? Oh, it's exactly the purpose of this group. Yes. Oh, can we post it? No, don't post that. This is not the place for that. I'm like, wait a second. What happened here?
What are we trying to accomplish right now?
Like, that's the example to me where I'm like, because it's even more specific. You know, the home gym group, I think that big home gym Facebook group the bigger thing with that is just so inherently flawed by the size of it.
It's too big.
The
It's too
bullshit
big.
of it. It's just all
obviously too
bullshit.
big. Yes.
Like, but this one's not. This one doesn't have those flaws. So I can even look more specifically at that exact example that I'm like, what are we talking about? Like after a while, I'll be like, what are we talking about? What is the question even here? Like, what are we questioning? But then it's like, well, someone else could post it. That's what, and I'm like,
But will anyone else post it though? Like,
well, and I'm like, what? I don't know. What does it matter?
I agree.
let's
Because like one thing,
answer the first question.
just for comparable to me, like what? Okay, so I go on Reddit, and
But I guess people abuse stuff then too.
they do.
It's
Well, they do, and
problem.
that is what
Yeah.
ruins it. But it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I guess. So instead of abusing it, though, we just make it shittier for everyone. It's like, isn't that kind of the same as abusing
Well,
it?
yeah, I
But,
think you have to just handle the people that are abusing it.
yeah.
Is the thing.
It gets,
I mean,
and I
that
get it. It
requires
gets
a lot
hard
of
when the groups get that
moderation.
big.
But that's the problem with the home gym one.
Yeah,
you
it's too
can't.
big. It's too big.
It's too. That's the problem. But the vintage weights one, for example, easily can be moderated in that way. Honestly, where if like I'm in there posting Massenomics videos every week, and
Right.
a lot of them
It's-
have nothing to do with vintage weights. We
Yeah.
probably posted 5 YouTube videos that really are specific about vintage weights over the history of Massenomics. All of those should be able to be posted in there and are valuable.
Mhm.
I should be able to have gone in and posted every single one of those 5.
Well,
and
and if you
people
went to
should be like,
Efren's
oh
and
yes,
just
thank you.
If
Thank
you weren't
you.
if you weren't Massenomics, if you were just Tanner Baird and you went to Efren's
Right.
house and shot a 2-minute vertical video with him talking about his plates and posted in there, people are like, oh, this is great. Thank you
Right.
so much for putting this in here. I love it.
Right.
But because all of a sudden
It's like
been
professional.
on YouTube and comes off slightly more professional, it's like, oh no, this is self-serving. But what I was going to say is just for another example. So I like to check out the cars Reddit, and commonly on there, like the car space, there's a ton of, whether you want to call it automotive journalists or just car YouTube channels, and some of them get cars before others. Some of them are looking at really old cars. Some of them have weird stuff. And there's so many channels that it's just hard to keep up with everything. But if anyone's ever doing something interesting, usually it gets brought up in the Reddit, and someone will be like, oh, here's a first look at so-and-so's video. And people are having a discussion about the video, about things they liked from it, things they thought that were cool, things they thought sucked. And to me, it's a whole nother avenue of like getting introduced to more content that's out there and more things in the space. And I can't say I've ever seen that in the home gym one at all.
Yeah. If I was to put myself in them shoes a little bit, or think of anything that's relatable that we experience, we run the Massenomics Discord, of course. You have to be a supporting member to be in it. So it's also pre-filtered in the sense that everyone that's in there is kind of
a
like
top tier person.
exactly like, I mean, it is like the best people that exist in the world are all in there. But that being said, like people like the crew tube, we were just talking about it. We highlight the people that
like, oh,
are
you
making-
have
we're
extra
like-
links. Give us more.
right. Yes. In all honesty, it's probably unfair comparison because those people are pre-filtered in the sense that they're already like,
True.
they already get it. There is a little bit of a paywall to be in there, all these other factors. But if they were posting YouTube videos, if they were posting crap that was completely irrelevant, we would be like, hey, stop doing that.
We'd be like, oh, but that's just a day in the Discord too, though.
Well, right. No, that's why I guess I'm
That
not
goes
sure
in
what the
other,
exact.
that goes in the other
What-
channel.
Most people are posting videos of them, like sharing their lifting vlogs and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, that's great. That adds to this community. It's like
Yeah.
builds the community
And it-
very well. Like it's a big.
And if people
part of
don't
it.
like it, they just don't watch it and they don't comment. Like that's all. Like, right? Isn't that the thing?
Yes, I think so. But it's all very relevant to our platform that we have, so we keep it in.
agree.
We don't say, "Oh no, what are you promoting yourself? Get the fuck out of here with that." And we're like, good. If nobody was promoting anything they have going on, there wouldn't be much. Wouldn't be much discussion
I
here.
mean, you're either promoting your gym with a photo of it, you're promoting something that you did. Like it's
Right.
I guess you're not doing it behind a business like Massenomics is, but yeah, even our YouTube videos, I don't think they're overly promotional to Massenomics. Like I think we're trying pretty hard.
Like
to
our
put
gym
the
tours, for example.
Yeah, like we're trying pretty damn hard to keep the focus on the people.
Big time. And the amount of time, like take Darko's gym tours, for example, when we're going through with him, You know, because we experienced that with him posting some stuff, and people are like, "Oh, you're self-promoting your thing," and it's like, you know, how many other small creators that Darko highlighted in his gym tour that we did? Probably 20.
Oh,
like where he specifically called them out by name, by website, by product they made, what they're doing.
Yep.
You know,
I've
it
worked
wasn't
with this guy. I've used this guy. I love this thing. Because
Yeah.
I mean, that is what the gym tours are. It's showing off all of the stuff you've gathered that other people have made and put together that you think makes a gym cool. It's just to show off cool things people do in the space, but
yeah,
you put
Overall,
it out on your channel, and then all of a sudden it's a promotional message for your channel.
the home gym one is probably too far gone to even save.
Yeah, it's not salvageable. We've lost that
Not
one.
really. But other ones, I guess what my thing would be, maybe there just needs to be a little bit more case by case basis on things. That's kind of what my takeaway would be.
I think so.
Although I am a person to play devil's advocate, I like a system of, you know, something that you can follow, a system of rules and that sort of thing, but it's maybe just not that black and white on stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there was a stretch in the home gym Facebook one where I think every day there was 10 posts about the damn Walmart everyday bumpers that people were getting for $1 a pound or whatever. I'm like, do people love cheap bumpers this much? It's all anyone wanted to talk about. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
This is that noteworthy to everyone in here.
I'm pretty sure that was like a month.
Oh, it was nonstop. It was every day, multiple times a day.
And that, like, first it was like throughout the ordering process, and then it was everyone getting those bumpers. Then
My
too.
bumpers look like shit. It's like, yeah, you paid 70 cents a pound for bumpers from Walmart.
Like, why are they all wavy and shitty? Well,
You expected those to be good?
yeah. I mean, some of them are. It's a crapshoot. I guess.
Oh yeah,
some
some
are
are like, mine are perfect.
Yeah.
Mine look terrible. My 10s are bent. It's like, well, if they didn't arrive bent, they would have been soon if you used them, I guess.
Yes. So that's Facebook groups in a nutshell.
I think so. There's definitely people listening that, I don't know, are probably going to tell us we're wrong and everything. We don't get
That's
it.
all
but
right.
I'm just saying, for engagement, you got to be real. Like, a lot of the content being generated in those groups is very low effort. There's not much discussion happening. And I just like to see more of that. More high quality stuff.
Don't boot out the people's content that because they put time and effort into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh,
that's kind of the thing. It's like, the second you start trying, then it's like, well, no, this doesn't belong here anymore. Make it shittier. We only allow shit.
And they're like, no, shittier.
Yeah.
Like, no, shittier.
Mm-hmm.
It's like almost like the Star Wars
more.
thing. But just no, worse, worse. And like eventually it's just some one terrible photo of a guy shirtless in a home gym saying like, oh, progress pic. And like, why is this even in the group?
You just got to have one of those in there once in a while.
Or like, I also kind of wonder, I don't know, maybe it's me not really knowing the direction of what the group is supposed to be, but I'm like, the people when they post like just some random lift that they did. It's like, oh, here's my 250 trap bar deadlift for 3. I'm really working towards 315, which is great. I'm not poo-pooing that or anything like that, but I'm like, is this the...
How did this one get in here out of nowhere? And also, if we all post lifting videos, are they going to allow that, or would that get stopped if, they get flooded with, if we just said, all right, everyone in the Massenomics group, post your lifting videos to the Facebook, the home gym Facebook group for a week. Are they going to be like, yeah, no, there's been way too many workout videos in here that needs to stop?
Yes. Or I just start posting me lifting at Massenomics gym. Like, at what point does it just how little sense does it have to make for it to
12 weeks out?
Yeah,
like lifting for the day, and people like
start posting all my Instagram stories to the Facebook home gym group.
Yeah, I do like that concept though. That is really funny.
245, 5 sets of 10. Here it is. Like, and people are like, what? Why? Like,
Accessory
why
day
is this here? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Did you hear about any important GNC news?
No, I didn't. I'm curious what this is.
I've done absolutely no research on this, but I did see I think this was maybe on, speaking of Facebook, Aberdeen Rants and Raves or something, that the GNC in Aberdeen is closing.
Oh, I guess I wouldn't have been surprised if you told me it was already closed.
You'd be more surprised to find out that it's still open.
In fact, was open. Okay, so this is just the local one, though. This isn't a bigger
Yeah,
GNC.
no.
Okay.
I actually don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's one of those things like GNC set to close 40 stores.
Interesting. Well, geez, does this kind of change your?
Like I said, I did absolutely no.
Does this kind of
no
change
research.
your supplement game all of a sudden?
I haven't purchased a thing from there in maybe a decade.
It's been a very long time since I walked into a GNC.
Yeah, it looks like back in 2020 they closed a lot of stores.
Well, didn't we talk about them?
I'm sure we did.
I thought I
do
remember
think we
we
did.
talked about some store closures or something. 2020 with everything going on.
With everything that was going on, yeah, that's true. That's actually a really good point.
Can we
with
actually
everything
talk
that was
about let people know a little insider secret for the next excuse they can have for everything? Is that too early?
Oh, that's maybe we should let everyone know. I don't know if we want to be the first to let the cat out of the bag.
Breaking news. You heard it here first. All right, everyone.
Take yourself back to explain the prior. How the first.
Everyone remembers COVID, and this was just the blanket statement for 2 years. Was with COVID we can't do this. COVID was the excuse for everything, no matter what. It didn't matter if it was relevant to what you were doing or not. You could just say COVID and no one could argue with you. They're just like, okay, well, yeah, that's just what it is. And it was kind of
anytime anyone didn't want to do, especially a business could cop out of
just
anything.
anytime you had to justify any decision, you could just say, well, because of COVID. Like that was
and
just,
they were like, oh, well, true.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
COVID.
And it's with everything going on. Like that's what it was. It was with everything going on in COVID. That's
that
what it
was our joke. Yeah.
The new one, this is happening already, and it's only, unless something changes, it's only going to get worse, is the tariff thing. It's just, with prices and everything going on and supply chains, we're right back. We're right back.
Tariffs.
Yeah, we're right back to where we were. Supply chains, all that. It just, it's
All
already
the
happening.
supply chain issues.
It's already happening. It's only going to get worse. That's just going to be the excuse people use for everything is tariffs. I can already see it.
For a couple years, probably.
I mean, it took COVID supply chains years to get back, and so it's.
I still don't know that they've recovered.
Nope, those prices went up. They never came back.
Yeah,
those pre-COVID prices are gone forever. And the tariff one's going to be the next one. Just wait for it. That will be
like
your
anytime
business.
Someone can't fulfill something that you think, an obligation that you think that they probably should be able to. Perfect reasoning.
Yep. It's going to be the reason that the company that someone works at is getting laid off is because of tariffs. Another company, it's going to be because they're hiring someone because of tariffs. Yeah. Another company, it's why they're going out of business is because of tariffs. It's why you're paying way more because of tariffs. It's going to be the reason for everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Which in some cases it may very well be the reason of things. We're not trying to say that it is not the reason, like that it has no effect on anything.
I'm saying this is more of a critique of people are going to use this as an excuse for everything.
For everything. Stuff that you're like, but wait, why is that because of that?
Very loosely related at best.
Are you sure that's not just what you want to do? And you're like, aha, the perfect excuse for it. And nobody can really just like with COVID, with everything that was going on, you'd be like, oh, fuck, I guess. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Not much I can do about it.
Yep.
Everything that was going on.
That'll be the next one. With everything going on. And also you can start to use that saying again and people be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You ain't wrong about
that's
that.
Right. Oh, absolutely. A lot of shit going on.
You're like, I don't even know if we're speaking the same thing here, but we seem to be in agreement.
Yes. So no more GNC in Aberdeen. I do think there is one local supplement shop still open that you could go to. Have you ever purchased a supplement from a store?
I mean, when I first got into lifting, I went to GNC
but
a
when's
few
the last
times.
time when you've purchased a supplement from a face-to-face store?
Well, walked up to the Build Fast Formula booth at the meet last
Not
year.
at a booth at events that we go to.
Okay.
That's different.
Well,
that's like
then-
supporting. That's typically supporting our friends in most cases when we do that sort of thing. So-
Then, I mean, the last time would have been I walked into a GNC when I was probably 22 or 23 years old or something. That was the last time I went into one of those. Yes.
Okay. But and not just GNC, but any supplement place, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was it. Because also the other thing is like, okay, like, yeah, if you're going to buy supplements, we highly recommend Build Fast Formula. They have great supplements. But okay, if you're not going to go that route, they're also in like every store you walk into now,
Right.
Walmart, Target, grocery
Right,
stores, Costco, they all have that. That wasn't really the case 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You'd walk into
had,
Walmart
like
and they had
5-star.
or was it Body
nutrition
Fortress or something?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they
that
would
was the
have
yellow
that.
one,
And you're like,
and then
it's fine, I guess. It's definitely
It's
not the
kinda like
premium
a
stuff.
little subpar. Like there's
Yeah.
aspects of it that absolutely seem subpar.
And that was like your option. That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Where now you go and there's just Optimum Nutrition in every
Right.
one of these places on top of, I don't even know what the other brands are.
I actually have no idea what the supplement aisle at Walmart looks like, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, you don't go to Walmart or grocery stores, so you don't know these things,
Right.
Tanner. But yeah, I mean, you go any of them, they have like options to pick from now. There's
Yeah. Shit. Not going to supplement stores. I just don't go to stores.
let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Yeah. We don't need to be so specific in Tanner's case.
I just don't go to any of those places that sell things like that. So rest in RIP Western Northeast South Dakota GNC.
On the topic of Western Northeast South Dakota, certain local establishment just got a little bit of press online, and that would be
I didn't. Was it a video? I haven't seen it. Did you
Yeah,
watch
and
it?
I wasn't
see
familiar
people
with this
tagged us in
guy.
it, but I haven't watched it.
I wasn't familiar with this guy. He definitely has a following. I think it was Sam. What was his name? Someone mentioned the Discord because they were familiar with this guy.
Sam from Jackal's Gym. Sam.
No, not. That just reminded me. Remember Alex from Jackal's Gym? He could
He
deadlift
lives
a
in
lot.
Sioux Falls, doesn't he?
Yeah, I ran into him like a week or two ago, or a couple weeks
Okay.
ago. And he actually
Is
had a
that-
Jackal's Gym shirt on. That's why I was like,
Is that the topic you have in here?
no, that's a different
Oh, okay.
topic. I just thought
Okay.
of this right now. I ran into him because I'm like, a guy.
Yeah.
It was at this kid's soccer
He
game.
could deadlift a lot.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, Jackal's Gym T-shirt. Who's wearing one of those? And I'm kind of staring at him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'd ever talked to him before, so I didn't know if he'd remember me.
I'm sure
And-
he's bought a few Massenomics things before.
Okay, has
actually.
he? I couldn't remember for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And I went over to him, and we were just, Tommy, what's up, man? And we were just hitting it off, catching up
Yeah.
on the good old days,
Does he still lift?
I don't think he said he
tell.
had been like as much late. I mean, I think he still
Okay.
lifts, but I don't think he's really competed lately. I thought is what he
Okay.
said.
Gotcha.
I already forgot. We were like walking out with kids, but
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. God, it would be really nice here, just to give him credit where credit's due here.
The circus
For the
wings you're
Circus
talking.
Wings. I know they had it on their Facebook page. They had called it out. It's Sam. What is it?
Multiple people
There we
sent that
go.
and tagged me in that, and I kept meaning to watch it, and I never have. So I have to do homework because I did want to watch that.
It is Sam Reed. He's got 320,000 subscribers, and he's doing this full, I think, tour of the country to try the wings in every state. And he talks about in the video how he narrows down, he's trying to find the best places based off of Google reviews and all these different, what people are saying, all this stuff. He's trying to find the real spots, not just whatever.
Yeah.
And somehow for South Dakota, he arrives at the Circus Wings or the Circus Bar. And
Yeah.
he gave them pretty high ratings. I think on the overall leaderboard for the country, there were like, I don't know, number 22 or something.
Not
Which
bad.
is,
do you think he got double dipped wings?
He did because he
did?
Yeah, he had buffalo barbecue. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yep. And then they
So he did
gave
go
him
double-dipped.
they gave him a little cup of like a Parmesan sprinkle of some kind to put on, which I've never
Well,
got that at the circus.
They
so-
probably give the frickin' YouTube celebrity all
Well,
the.
he keeps it, and I didn't realize this. He keeps
Oh.
it covert. He doesn't. He just props
Oh.
his phone up when he's eating them.
Oh, nice.
So
That's
no one
that's
knows.
actually better.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
not. There's not a production at all when he's in.
I wonder what he said about the circus, like in general.
He said at first he sat in a booth and some guys asked if they could sit with him because they didn't have a place to sit. And he's like, you know what? I'll just sit at the bar. You can have the booth.
yeah.
Like I could see that happening. Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening.
But he does talk about how packed it was on. Well, I think he said it was the start of March Madness. So he's like,
Well,
this
of
place
course,
seemed
love
unusually packed at 4:00 on a Thursday. It's like, well, that's kind of the circus for you.
Yeah, that's March Madness at the circus is popping.
So he had good things
Although-
to say. So people, the circus.
I wonder if he considered going to Schwanni's at all. Schwann's Recreation. If
Can't
that
let
was
that
almost
secret
almost- No. Circus is like the popular dive bar almost. It's
Yeah.
not even really a dive bar, actually, at this point. It's just a nice bar. Almost like it's after being remodeled and stuff, it's just almost straight up nice.
It still has the old school bar vibes to it, though, where it's,
it does.
you know, it hasn't been totally repolished.
Right. Schwanni's, though, is pristine, untouched condition.
Have you ever got the pig wings yet?
No, I think about it
my
every time. And
God, just get aside of those damn things.
I always think about it because of the follow up on the show, and then even when I think about it, I'm like, nah, not this time.
No, just get them. It's not just
Describe
get them
to
aside.
me what the pig wings are again. I think what's throwing me off is I'm like, what is it again?
I think it's almost just like ribs. It's almost like getting
So it's
ribs.
boneless.
No, it's
Or
bone.
they're-
There's a bone.
Okay.
Like I
Do you
said,
think
it's
deep?
like getting ribs.
Is
basically.
it fried?
I don't actually. It's been so long. They're cooked. They're not raw. By the way that they're cooked, I couldn't tell you for sure. Yeah, it's like if you just almost took a little pig rib and like made it like a wing. Like it's got wing sauce on it. It's fried like wing. It has to be fried like wings. I don't know how else they would do it.
Okay.
I'm not saying they're the best thing ever. It's not a common menu item. I don't know if I've really seen it anywhere else, and they're pretty decent actually.
I'm kind of a creature of habit.
But you can still get your thing. You just get the wings on the side. Just get an order of those going, you know, to pique the palate.
Okay, I'll maybe do a little homework on that at some point in time too. I do like Schwann's Recreation, so I will be back and we'll have the opportunity to try it again.
All right, there's another chance.
Oh, reminded me here. I was going to say last time I was there, they just give me the remote now, and I get to pick my own thing on the television. So yeah,
hot
getting
damn.
regular enough that you go to a bar regular when they just give you the
They're like,
remote
yep,
to
here's
run
your remote. Turn on whatever
Yeah.
stuff you're gonna watch.
it. Yes, exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you about basketball, but before we get to that, because I have a ton of questions about that, I just got to say one thing here. I had a great little experience tonight. My son had soccer practice. My wife is the coach.
Oh,
So-
she's the coach.
Oh yeah. This is
Did she
second
play
year.
soccer?
Yeah, she did actually. Yeah, play a lot of soccer.
Did you ever play soccer?
No,
Ever? Like,
from a town of 3,000 people in Northeast South Dakota. You think we had soccer teams there?
I mean, preaching to the choir here.
I
of
mean,
course,
this
but
would have
to
been
me,
the
you're
90s.
from a big.
Come on. The
to me, you're
European
from a
sport of
big
soccer had not reached middle America at that point yet.
To me, you're like from a big city, so I was like, you guys probably played soccer there.
No, it actually was just becoming a thing when I was growing up, but I never.
It literally, there wasn't a person that went to my school, like you could have picked any grade that I was in that was in kindergarten through 12th grade that ever played soccer. Like that's how
I mean, that doesn't
soccer
surprise me
existed
one
when
bit. Like that's
like there wasn't. I didn't know a person that played soccer like that went to the entire school.
And just to be clear, so people understand, like in my time when it was just becoming a thing, it was a thing until like 5th grade, and then it just didn't exist anymore because then there was sports, organized sports, you know. So like that was all it existed from.
Well, and I would even say now in 2025, if you go to the school that I went to, you could probably come to Aberdeen and play soccer until you're like in 5th grade. And I bet there's not anyone there that plays soccer beyond that now still.
Yeah, probably not.
Like there's not organized soccer for lower, for smaller division schools in the state of South Dakota. I don't think.
Yeah, it's just not a thing.
I mean, nationwide, it probably is a thing though. Like, right? I mean,
totally.
are we unique in that
soccer.
way,
Yeah,
or-
there's so much soccer here in Sioux Falls.
Right.
It's just
Right.
just drive around town on any weekend and you'll go by
like
just tons of soccer
thousands
fields
of people
full of
playing
people.
soccer.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's everywhere. But anyway, so we go there for soccer practice tonight. While he's playing soccer, while they're practicing, I take my daughter over and we play on the playground. You know, she gets to do all that fun stuff. And there was a guy there. He had some kids with him too. And he was kind of looking at me, but I didn't, whatever. I don't know. And then all of a sudden, from probably, I don't know, 20 feet away, he's like, "Hey, nice shirt, man." And I have this shirt on, the Jim Skull tee.
The one you're wearing right now.
Yeah, the one I'm wearing right now. And I'm like, "Oh, thanks. Do you know what Massenomics is?" Because my first thought is, does he know what Massenomics is, or just think, "Hey, a skull with a barbell, that's cool." This guy looks like he lifts some weights. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I totally know Massenomics." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm one of the guys." Oh, he's like, "I was wondering the hair and everything." So he comes over, he's like, "I gotta shake your hand." So he starts talking to me, and it's the whole thing of like, where do we start here? It's like, so what do you like to lift? What do you like to do?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, I got my home gym and I do this and this and this."
Okay.
And I'm like, "Do you live around here?" "Oh yeah, I live right over there." So like, again, maybe a mile from my house at the most. And then so we're just talking. There's just so many things here. So we're talking about stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, when did you learn about Massenomics?" He's like, "Oh, probably like 2019. I'm like, "Oh, that's really cool." He's like, "Oh yeah, I've bought stuff before. I got a Drink Spotter XL in my home gym." And
nice.
I listen to the podcast, and like going on and on. And I'm like, "Oh man, that's crazy." And I can't remember what I was saying to him. And I go, "Yeah, we're actually headed to Ohio this weekend. We're doing some, do you know Elite FTS and Dave Tate?" "Oh, of course I do. I actually grew up in Ohio." I'm like, "Oh man, this just keeps going on and on." And man, from between, and then he's asking about programming. "What do you do for programming?" I'm like, I do. Have you ever heard of Juggernaut AI? I ran it for like a year. Just like, it's just one thing after another. I'm like, you just get everything. We're on the same page here, man.
Well, you don't know that someone's going to get that thing.
No, not at all.
Because there's always so many varying levels of how deep in on things people are or are not.
Yes. Oh, and then he goes, "Oh, my wife's right here. You got to come meet my wife." And we go, he's like, "Honey, this is Tommy from Massenomics." She's like, "Oh, yep. He talks about you guys all the time." And I'm like, "Oh man, here we go." He's like, "I knew you said you'd moved to Sioux Falls, like a while ago, but I wasn't sure if it was you or not." And so we go from talking about programming to Ohio to lifting to home gyms to Juggernaut, and
that's a good encounter.
we ended up talking for probably like 30 some minutes, and never met this guy in my life, and just because of Massenomics. Oh, and then he's like, I'm telling him about the meet. He's like, I might have to get in on that. It's been quite a few years since I've done a meet. He's like, "How do I go about doing that?" And I'm like, "Well, you got to get on the wait list. There's this guy, Dave. You got to talk to Dave. Get on the wait list." I'm like, "There's like a 90% chance if you tell him now, you'll be able to do it."
Right.
And, but my point was though, and he's like, "Oh, you probably have this conversation all the time." I'm like, "Well, it depends. There's levels to how engaged people are.
Maybe not in this depth.
But my whole thing was with Massenomics through all this, you have some commonalities with people, some similarities, and take this stranger I've never met in my life. And we got done talking to this guy after like 30 minutes. I'm like, I feel like I've known this guy my whole life, man.
Right.
We're into the same stuff. We live in the same area. We got kids. We got home gyms. We do the same program. Like, it was just, it was a funny experience.
That kind of reminds me of like when a new supporting member comes into the Discord and it's like, possibly no one there has ever talked to them before, and they come in and they're like, "Oh, I love cottage cheese too," or whatever it is, and everyone's like,
or it's like, or they're like, "Hey, I noticed someone has a home gym here," and then all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, I know so and so," and it's like, "Oh yeah, we all know each other already, I guess."
Right. That is like that. I had a little bit different encounter where I was in the mall in Aberdeen, and someone was in the food court area, and I looked over and he's wearing a Curls shirt.
Oh,
and I'm like, for one thing, we haven't sold that shirt that much lately, so it's like an interesting shirt for me to. There was a time where I'd see that shirt all the time. I don't see it quite as frequently now, and I was like, and I looked over and I had to double take because I'm like, "Oh, is that a Curls shirt or a Coors shirt?" And I'm like, "No, that's a Massenomics shirt." And I was like, "Oh, nice shirt," and he's like, "Oh, thanks," and definitely had no idea. And I'm like, "Oh, where'd you get it? I'm just curious." He's like, oh, I had a friend that did this powerlifting meet in town here last year or a year or so ago, and I bought it there. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm one of those guys, and he knew absolutely not where the experience is different. He
Had no clue.
Lives in Aberdeen, has the curl shirt, and couldn't probably know less about Massenomics, And I was like, oh, this conversation is not going. You talked about that fun conversation.
Oh yeah,
that you had. I'm like,
just one
I
thing
am
after
not having
another
that.
Yep. It's like, do you know about this? Do I know about it? I've been living that life for 10 years.
Yeah, yeah. That's fun then. So was that the park meeting?
That was the park meeting, yes.
Okay, if you're going to tell me that wasn't the park meeting, I'm like, what the hell's the park meeting?
So for people that are asking, I have a note here in our to-do list that says park meeting, like to keep things vague, and that was what the park meeting is. That's what we're referring to.
So does your wife, when she's coaching, does she ever yell, kick it in, Pele?
I haven't heard that one yet, but maybe I'll tell her.
What movie is that from?
I don't even know.
Are you familiar with that?
I don't really watch that many sports movies, and I definitely don't watch many.
I don't think it's a sports movie. I think it's like an Adam Sandler movie.
Happy Gilmore.
It might be that. It might be that. Oh, no. It's from an Adam Sandler
skit.
Many times over the years, I've referenced the Adam Sandler CD.
Mm-hmm.
They're all gonna laugh at you. That's from a bit on They're All Gonna Laugh at You. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'd have to look into that more. Completely unrelevant to anything. But so she doesn't say that then, or
she does not. No. And
your
actually,
wife's
last week she was
Adam
gone.
Sandler.
She was supposed to be up on her Adam Sandler comedy albums. Last week she was gone, and so I had to, I should say last weekend,
sub in.
So I had to be the sub-in coach for the weekend. Really.
Yeah. Did you like it? Or
my coaching muscle of the test? Well, we cleaned house, so I guess you could say the coach was.
Was it from mostly the coaching, do you think?
It was absolutely the coaching, yes. There's nothing that, nothing can influence the game of some 4-year-olds playing soccer like a great coach.
Yeah, 4-year-olds playing soccer is fun. It can go a lot of different ways.
Oh man,
there's a lot of different levels of engagement and involvement.
There are
on the athlete's part. I've definitely noticed that over the years. There's a wide spectrum of the way that those fit in there.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to talk about the Arsenal?
I'm wondering now. Do we save that for next week or not?
All right, maybe let's table that. We'll table talk that to next week. Should we? We'll talk more about Arsenal. Is it Arsenal Strength? Is that the name of the company, or do I just say that and that's not a real thing?
I'm actually not even sure it has to be that. It can't be just Arsenal.
I think I say that, but I really don't know that that's right.
Let's see what their website is. Well, their website is myarsenalstrength.com.
Okay, so it's at least.
Yeah, their logo is Arsenal Strength. Yep, you're right.
Okay. So we're not far off on that then.
Quite close, you could say. Dead on even.
What about this? I've been wondering about chocolate.
Oh, I put that in there. Okay, I had to think for a second. Dude, maybe I'm late to... Oh, I know I'm late to the party on this one. Maybe we've talked about it before. I cannot remember. I mean, this conversation we're about to have, for all I know, we did this exact same thing 3 years ago, but... Chocolate Fairlife, man.
I don't think we're going to let that stop us.
No, Chocolate Fairlife, pretty damn good. I got to give it up. I don't know if I've had Fairlife before. I don't think I have.
Oh, you've never had Fairlife?
I don't think I have. I'm not like a huge milk guy. I just don't really drink it.
I think that's pretty popular in the.
Totally. That's why I said I'm late to the party here. Like I see everyone talk about it and everything. I just never buy it. I never get it. And I don't know why. Oh, I was in the grocery store with my boy, and he's like, "Oh, chocolate milk, let's get this." And it was the Fairlife, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, people do talk about this."
Oh, it's like crack. I could drink a gallon of it and not even think
I was
twice.
genuinely impressed. Like chocolate milk especially. I'm just like whatever. Like chocolate milk doesn't really do it for me. I love chocolate, but chocolate milk just doesn't really do it for me. It never really has. But that Fairlife, man, there is something that's some good stuff for sure.
Oh, that's good. But I like milk and I like chocolate milk. I just hold myself back on the amount of that I have because I could drink a gallon of milk a day and I wouldn't. I mean, I would probably have digestive issues, but like as far as my palate goes, like I could do that and it would. I don't. Well, I mean, I know people do. said that actually having forgot about gallon of milk a day.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even thinking of it in terms of, I'm just saying I could drink that much milk and I wouldn't be doing it
because there's all the
of,
people that are like suffering to try and do it. And you're like,
Right,
I could just do
right.
that out of my own free. Like I have to
Right.
stop myself from doing that.
oh, and if you made it chocolate milk, oh my God. Like I actually could like quit eating food and just have that for a lot probably. And I'd be pretty content with it. But I'm like, that doesn't really fit into my, my health and nutrition goals. So
I would say this, now that I've been paying it's 9 months in of paying way closer attention to my nutrition with MacroFactor. Use code Massenomics if you're listening. Want to get in on that MacroFactor train.
get you a few weeks when you sign up with discount code Massenomics.
Yes, I will tell you this. There's been a few food hacks we've learned along the way that I just
cottage cheese.
Dude, I'm gonna say like there's a few things where you could just eat. Like you don't even have to eat that many of these, and like you hit 100 grams of protein effortlessly. Like those would be okay. Cottage cheese. I just go to Hy-Vee now.
That's the Massenomics.
I got to get you to try this here. This 4% Hy-Vee large curd. God, I had to buy 3 more of them today. It's just like dropping another one. Like I look forward to eating it. It's just good. I can't. Like the Daisy one. We talked about this. It's fine. Like, and I would eat it, and I'm like, this is fine. Like I don't not enjoy this, but. Like definitely thinking macros in my head. This Hy-Vee one, I'm like, no, I just want it. I just want more. Like, give me more of this stuff. It's
like,
just good.
You know how I like before maybe you ate as much cottage cheese, how I'd be like, oh no, I can have like one of those and eat like half of it in like without even like it's just what I eat before or after I eat my food. Like, do you see how like does that seem
tonight before we left for soccer? Because soccer is at 6 o'clock. So we leave at 5:45. I don't really want to eat dinner at 5:45.
right?
And I'm like, oh, I'm kind of hungry. I might just get a big bowl of cottage cheese. And I'm like, wait, why am I can just wait to eat for an hour. I don't need a bowl of cottage. But I had to stop myself because I'm like, I'll just eat some cottage cheese right now. But then I realized, no, I don't need to eat a bunch of cottage cheese before I go run around in the park with my kids. Like I can hold off. But I'm just saying between cottage cheese, all of the Greek yogurt options now, especially the higher ones that are, in the 20s or 25 for those higher ones.
Right.
So you look at those, you look at pure protein bars, you get some Build Fast formula protein in there, you get some Fairlife. All of a sudden it's like, these things all feel like treats and they're very low on sugar and fat and they're just super high in protein and you didn't even really have to eat any food. So what I'm saying is, don't feel like you have to suffer trying to drink a gallon of milk a day.
Right.
You don't have to put yourself through that mental anguish if you don't like milk.
Call.
There's so many easy options that involve enjoyable things.
We should, how starting strength is gallon of milk a day. Our new challenge should be gallon of cottage cheese a day. We need to run the macros on. If you ate a gallon of cottage cheese a day,
dude, that
would be so much protein though too.
God.
Okay, I mean a gallon of cottage cheese a day.
Ounces of cottage cheese.
Okay, that's insane. But like, how many ounces is like the one that's about this tall?
Just like your standard size one.
Yeah, the big, not the half size one, but the big.
Well, when you say big though, to me that's small because I'm used to the Costco size where it's really big.
Yeah, I'm thinking like it might be 30. I guess 32 ounces probably is like.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's that big actually.
Okay.
God, this is just way harder to find than it should be. Here, I've got to pull up Walmart. They'll have a picture of it. I know.
22 probably. I think is about what they often are.
How many ounces is that sucker? Right here, Kemp's, which is a Pizza Ranch preferred.
So they say, although
22 ounces. Oh, yeah, 22. One of those would be easy to eat in a day.
What if you? That's the diet. It's okay. That's how you start to turn it around. If you have shit nutrition, you have 22 ounces of cottage cheese.
That's 6 servings. So 13 times 6. What's that?
78.
Sure. Okay. 78 grams of protein. 6 times 2.5. You got 15 grams of fat. I mean, come on, right there. Like, come on.
How many grams of protein was that?
Said 78 grams of protein in a tub.
Yeah, 78. Yeah.
18 grams of fat.
How many calories is that?
One serving, 90 calories. 90 times 6.
530 calories. Yeah. So that's a really good starting point because it's also going to fill some room up in your tum too. So it's like that much less room for crap.
Yeah.
You know,
It's pretty dense food, you know?
yeah. So that's where I would start if you really needed to revamp your diet, is the tub of cottage cheese a day.
I mean, you could easily, even if that's too much for you and you don't need to, you could easily eat a half of one in a day. You just find the
Oh, I
brand
could
you
go-
like.
If I was really intentional about it, I could go on a diet where I eat 2 of those a day. I could do that for some period of time as long as it's good cottage cheese.
I'm telling you, you got to try this Hy-Vee one, man. It's
Yeah.
so good. It's so good.
I mean, I can easily, if I'm hungry and I'm like, you don't really have many other things to go along with this. If you're just like, here, just eat this. I could eat one of those in a sitting.
Oh yeah,
Like-
if that was like put in front of me, like, oh, you could do worse. Like,
I mean, I typically don't eat an entire one of just because I'm just like, it's probably not good for parts of my insides to have like throwing down.
but is it not though? Like, I mean, does anyone say that?
What would be the acronym for that then instead of GOMAD? Is it tub of cottage cheese a day? TOCAD.
Doesn't quite roll off
TOCAD.
the same, but
Yeah. We'll have to workshop that a
yeah,
little bit.
we'll mess around with that. We'll find the acronym there, but
Yeah.
and it's cheap. You know, it's one of those things is $3 something, depending on where you're getting it.
Okay, I've got a follow up for your Fairlife chocolate milk though. Talk about frickin' tariffs. Just putting things through the roof. When I was in a C store just this weekend, and it'd been a day of not awesome nutrition, and I'm like, I wish I would have brought some of my frickin'
Okay, are you gonna say
Dr.
beef jerky, protein bar, or Cliff Bar?
No, I'm gonna say frickin' the drinks.
Oh,
like
God.
the Fairlife protein drink.
Is it like four
They had
something?
muscle milk. Here's how they had the tiers price, and there was 2 brands, muscle milk and then like the Fairlife protein, like not just Fairlife, but like
But yeah, there's
Fairlife
extra protein. in
protein.
it, Yeah.
The one that had like 23 grams of protein was $5.
Oof.
The one that had like 30 some grams of protein was $5.50. And the one that had 42 grams of protein, which that was a shockingly high amount of
I didn't
protein,
know that
though,
existed even.
was $6.
Damn.
So for $5 you could get 20 grams of protein. For $5.50 you could get 30, and for 40 it was $6 for a fucking drink.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
And I'm like, friggin' tariffs, man.
All this imported milk.
Yeah. But I just like that, I have this revelation on the podcast about once a month when I really look at the price of something. I'm like, really? That's what it costs? And sure, it's in a convenience store. It's in the name. You're paying for the convenience of getting it. But I normally factor that in when I'm getting to the convenience store, and the price was still shocking me. That the expensive version was $6, the cheap was $5.
Yeah, that's a lot. My highest number would have been 5, and I thought I would have been too high saying that
Yeah.
too. So
And I was in a point though that I still did buy one though, because I just wanted something
Just in a
that
pinch?
I needed something that was less shit than the shit I'd been having. Sometimes you just gotta have
just
less.
cleanse
And I'm like,
the system.
I'm paying for the convenience. And
I would
because
pay
you have me
20
over
for
the-
cottage cheese
Yeah,
right now.
Well, so you have me over the coals. What am I gonna do? Like, have no protein today whatsoever? Like, that's not gonna happen. So I guess you could charge 20, and I would just complain more and still buy it. I guess
It's like you're in an airport without the airport prices.
I wonder what price that protein drink would have had to have been for me to not buy it at that point in time. Like, if it was $12, would I have
just
still
would seem
bought it?
offensive. Like, no, they're playing a trick on me right now. There's no way.
Yeah. Yes.
But a lot of people just buy. What does a Monster cost? Is a Monster 3 something?
It has to be. It can't. Those are definitely not.
Are they
less than
$4?
$3,
I don't even know.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's just so rare that I buy one. That's how out of the loop I am on like what that costs even.
I really never buy them. Like, the time that I have those is, I mean, I brought home one of those flats of Monster from
From the
the
Arnold.
Arnold,
Yeah.
and I think I've had one. There's one missing from it.
Uh-huh.
So that's how often I have those.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's just like I got coffee, cold brew, and Build Fast.
Yeah.
Like those are my
Now coffee, on the other hand, I'll take some of
A
that
fresh
good
pot, serve it up.
sweet nectar of the gods. Some of that sweet nectar of the gods. And need an update here. Yep, Timberwolves winning at half. Hopefully going to close this out this tonight. Actually,
Oh, that'd be sweet.
So I'm
Okay,
excited about
I do
that.
want to hear about the game because I didn't watch the highlights. I kind of read what happened. It sounds like you went to like the game to go to.
Yeah, I guess what I won't get into the details of the game, but it's just for personally, it may have quite possibly ruined the experience of going to a game ever again because it couldn't have been better.
Any better? Yeah.
Literally couldn't have been more intense. It was so much yelling and screaming in the place packed and just like
Outside of having better seats, like there's no way it could have gone better, right?
no way. And like it was so good. Like I couldn't even like we were very, very high up. We were like 5 rows from the top of the, to touch the wall that's the top of the friggin' building. And I didn't even think about it once. Like as it was so, the crowd, it was just so friggin' wildly into it. Like, and I would be one that I go to a concert and every once in a while I'm like, I wouldn't mind a little sit for a while. Is there any chance we could have a little sit break here? And I'm like, people were standing I was standing almost the entire time unconsciously because it was just like what it was just so friggin' wild, just wild cheering and yelling and screaming. And there was quite a few Lakers fans dispersed because the Lakers travel everywhere, of course.
Well, and there are Lakers fans everywhere too.
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
It's like go to a game, there's going to be Dallas Cowboys fans. You go to a game, there's going to be New York Yankees fans. You go to a game, there's going to be Los Angeles Lakers fans, no matter where you go. And the crowd's so rowdy. And like the dispersed Laker fans are so rowdy. Then when the home team's doing well, everyone's like cheering even louder because the Lakers fan is like sitting right in front of you and you want to scream in his ear. Like that's the vibe of that did make it really cool. But yeah, they came back way behind in the fourth quarter to win, and the Lakers, Luka and LeBron both had to pass up a 3 at the last second to. AR-15 shot it and missed a 3 at the buzzer to tie it. This is after the Timberwolves had hit like 5 ridiculous threes down the court. And
because did Nas Reed have one at the very end there?
He had 2, and Anthony Edwards had like 44 points on the game, and Nas Reed had a great game. And Luka, people complain about LeBron being a whiny baby. He holds no candle to the amount of whining that Luka doesn't stop talking to the referee ever. Like I'm like, you can't even go back on defense because you can't stop talking to the referee long enough. Like the amount of talking to the referee is insane.
Like that shouldn't be
NBA players in general, but nobody does. After seeing it in person, I'm like, nobody does it. You couldn't talk to the ref more because he never stops talking to the ref. He doesn't perform a play and not get done and turn to the ref. I swear if he swishes a 3 and no one's within him, he's still going to turn and say something like be complaining to something to the referee.
Wow.
So that was my takeaway. I actually talked about more of the game than I even thought I would. So that's enough about the game, but I would just say the experience was so cool. It would be hard to live up how fun it was.
Well, and then it's playoffs. So people in a lot of
playoffs
other markets,
and it's the Lakers. So
and people in a lot of other markets, they have sports teams that make the playoffs. And Minnesota, this part of the country in general, also, there's a lot of big time sports fans here because there's not as many like college, like you don't have the D1 colleges to rally behind, that you do in other parts of the country. So like you have your smaller local colleges, and then it's like you have your pro sports teams. Like that's what people are into here. Yeah. And in this part of the country, you can have some playoff droughts. And so to have a team in the playoffs and also performing at a high level in the playoffs, doesn't happen too often. And
it was really cool, like leaving the stadium, like the whole place, like chanting
the mood
Wolves
everyone's in
5, and people going down the escalator and like yelling, like "I love my effing city!" And so it just was really cool. Although we did make the drive there and back in one day, I was so tired
Were you by the end?
when we got home, and I literally sat for almost, the drive
Right.
alone was 10 hours,
Yes.
So, but I was very, very exhausted from the whole thing. Also, just from like the being so into the game.
Oh, that's the
when
thing.
you're
It's
in
such a
person,
high energy
I was just
thing.
exhausted from it. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, I need to lay down and take a nap after all the. I gave the team so much support that they won. That's like what everyone feels like in that stadium.
We
Like, no,
did
they
it.
need me to. They need me screaming.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
The thing I noticed, and you know this because I think you guys went and sat up top last year.
Mhm.
I'd never sat in the upper deck section there. It is so steep.
Oh, well, so when we went to the playoff game last year, we were in the front row of the second level.
Okay,
So it didn't
you wouldn't
matter.
really notice then. Yeah.
But when we went in January, when we went to that game, we were like, I don't know, 10 rows up the second level. Like
Right.
just, where the tunnel comes out. Like we were like
Yeah.
a row or two behind that. So it was probably 10 rows up. And I was kind of hungover, and I remember thinking like, oh, depending on where I look, I do not feel good right now.
you could, like, it makes you, yeah, that's the way to put it. Like, there's, like, when we climbed to the top, I'm like, I feel like if I tripped or, like, got dizzy and fell, I would plummet to my death, like, almost off. It's not much different than falling off of a cliff.
Yeah,
from
and
up
I'm
here.
not really afraid of heights, like really,
Right.
but something about it just kind of almost like makes your head spin
Yeah.
a little bit and you're disoriented.
And because of how steep it is, there's way less room between the rows too. And that's the part when I sat down, I was like, oh my God, I have no space here at all.
Yeah, you get a little bit of that claustrophobic feeling.
Yes.
It's
Somehow I lucked out that nobody sat in there wasn't hardly an empty seat in the place except for the one right next to me.
really
And then my Jack is on my other side, who's not particularly large. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, thankfully
that worked out pretty good for you. Yeah.
walked out here. It's just sitting here. And I was doing the thing, like you on the plane.
Oh, it's like,
when
no,
you're-
not you, not you.
I'm watching people come up the aisle and be like, it can't be you. If it's you, neither
We're gonna
you
have a
or I
bad time.
That's what I'm like, how? There was people walking up the stairs. I'm like, if it's you, we're both screwed. We're neither, like, thank God I'm here because I'm just planting my ass here and you're going to have to figure out how you're getting in the seat next to me. And that didn't happen. So it wasn't like you on the plane.
Yeah. Some guys have all the luck.
Yeah. So they hopefully close it out now.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah. They're up at halftime by 10 points, and most people don't care about basketball, but it was a really cool experience, and I'm excited that we got that memory in the family, that we got to go watch.
You guys
watch
went to
that.
the first round last year, didn't you, or not?
Yeah, we did
Yeah,
go to the
that's what I
first round
thought.
last year, too.
Did this feel
Yeah.
way different than that one?
It did.
Yeah.
It did. But also because the game was such a comeback win and so close at the very end and against LeBron and Luka that it felt a little, I don't know how you could, unless you're going to like a game where they win the Western Conference Finals and go to the NBA Finals, or where they win a game in the NBA Finals. I can't imagine going to something there that is more exciting than that. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm like, well, it kind of ruins it now because I know, like, if we go to some regular season game,
The
then-
stakes just feels like an exhibition. Like it really does.
well, that is kind of the problem with the NBA though too, just in general, and we probably
Yeah.
talked about it. But like the regular season kind of doesn't matter
Just as
at
long as you
all.
make the playoffs, it doesn't really matter.
Right. Anything else in sports besides the NBA playoffs? Is there any other hot sports?
I don't think so.
I don't know anything about baseball
I don't
whatsoever.
either. Nah, let's not change that.
Yep. The Masters happened a little while ago. Do you ever watch golf on television?
When I got into golf, what was that? 2020, 2021. I kind of
Yeah.
rekindled my love for golf. And at that time, I was starting to watch a little more of it when it would come on
Yep.
TV. And like my father-in-law, he's a big time golfer, so he watches all
Right.
of it. My parents occasionally sometimes. My grandma watches all sports. Like she's a diehard sports watcher of everything. So she's always watching it. My dad, when it's on, he'll kind of like check in. So I'm usually loosely aware of what's going on, but I haven't watched. I didn't watch the Masters. I haven't watched much this year now.
I wouldn't be. I could see it. I literally. I'm not saying because it's boring, but there's no way I could stay awake doing it. It's so
Oh, that's the
quiet
thing.
and
like
so slow.
when
I
it's
would
at its
fall
best
asleep
is
and-
when it's coming
I'm-
down to the stretch,
Right.
and it's
Right.
Two guys
'Cause I'm
kinda
always
go-
a little tired. So if you put that on TV and I
it
get to
is.
sit there, I'm like, there's no way I'm not falling asleep in seconds from
Yep.
that.
Yep. Especially when it's just the middle rounds or it's just middle of
Right.
the day and you're just going about it. Yeah.
And is Formula One out of season right now? Then?
No, they're in season. They're,
they're in season.
what are they? Would this be the 6th race of the year this weekend?
Okay. So it's hot and heavy right now.
It is actually pretty interesting. In 6 races, I think there's been 4 different winners, 5 winners maybe. So it's actually, I mean, there's
lot
some
of
clear
parity.
front runners, but I would say this. I've watched all of them so far. The racing, not that good. For the most part, it's whoever starts in the front finishes. Not a whole lot of passing and stuff going on. So it's
Why though?
just because there's a couple cars that seem to be much better than the others. And then from a technical standpoint, as the cars get more developed as the years go on, it gets harder to pass because of the turbulent air they make, and it's harder for cars to follow. So this is the last year of these like every 5 to 6 years or so, they redo all the regulations. And so because they're late in the regulations now, this is the last year. It's like the cars are kind of at their
People
ultimate,
have it as
as dialed in as they can.
in. Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
and
sense,
so
actually.
next year should be really good
Be
because
the
that's
Wild
when
West.
everything it comes in with the clean slate, and people are like, here's this crazy new rule book. What can we do? And that's usually like when they did that 4 years ago or whatever it was. That was like the funnest season to watch.
But that's where you could get someone that wins like every race then though.
Well,
too,
you could also
almost.
too. Yeah, it's like, did somebody
Like, no, they're just-
ace this from the
Right.
start and they make everyone look silly, or is it everyone's kind of trying to figure it out for the first half of the year? So you never know. It could be
Right.
either way, but yeah. So I keep watching it, but yeah, it hasn't been overly exciting so far.
Right. Okay. Massenomics YouTube. Last week's video, was it the vintage weight plate still? Is that the most recent video? or
Yeah,
am
I think so.
Okay, that seems like it was a long time ago. The Efren vintage weight plate was an awesome, sick video.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorites that we've got. It's awesome. The one that comes out though.
Did
as
you
you're
remember
listening-
going back through that? So I'm assuming you've watched it again now, haven't you?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, it was really good.
Did you? Was there any things now that you?
I forgot half the stuff.
Oh yeah, exactly.
honestly.
That was my
Like,
thing too. I'm like, oh man, that is a crazy story. I knew you told us some, but I just don't remember any of them.
Well, it was like what you said when we talked about it, that you're like, yeah, and when you're in it, you're not really. I mean, you're listening to them, but you're also thinking about 7 steps ahead all the time. So
Well, you're
not
trying to be
really-
a host before,
right? So
anything.
that's when we're just watching it. I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm just like, I'm so interested in this because even though I was right there and he was telling it to my face, I didn't have time to absorb any of it. And I just think it's such a cool video. If you have,
If
I
you're
don't
into
even
weight,
know if you're not
into
even
vintage
into-
weight plates at all,
Right.
though, like that's the crash course right there. That brings you
Right.
so up to speed on so much
Right.
of what is out there.
even if you're just potentially curious about it, you're like, oh, okay. Like you could watch that and be like, no, I basically get it now. Like I kind of know which
Kind
one.
of, yeah.
You know?
It's like, if you just remember some of the stuff here, you know more than most people. It's
Right. But the one that comes out now is the one that should be out is Big David's Southern California.
have you had a chance to
Compact.
watch it yet?
Yes, I watched that actually today too, and I think that was a really good gym tour.
It was a fun one.
I think people really like that one, and he's a longtime crew member, so I think the Massenomics supporting members always enjoy supporting another one of their own. So don't miss that one if you haven't watched Big David's home gym garage tour yet. There was some nuggets in there that I completely forgot about too because it's been a while since we recorded that, and it's just pretty funny.
Yes, it is.
I enjoy that video also, so don't miss it. Don't forget to subscribe to the Massenomics YouTube channel if you're not. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to leave us a comment. What would we have people comment about this week?
On this video,
Yeah, like-
podcast episode,
Do you like Fairlife? Is it overrated or underrated?
cottage cheese. How many of them? How many cottage cheeses do you eat in a day?
What is the right amount of cottage cheese to eat per day?
Yeah. What's your go-to brand?
Like, would you rather eat 1 tub or 2 tubs of cottage cheese per day? What's the most cottage cheese that you could eat in one day?
Yeah. Would you rather drink a gallon of milk a day or like a tub or 2 of cottage cheese?
Like,
Because
I think you've got to say more than one of those 20 to make that a fair comparison. 1 22-ounce tub of cottage cheese, I would pick that over the milk without even thinking about it. That's way easier.
what's
But maybe 2 tubs of cottage cheese per day 44
Isn't
ounces.
isn't the GoMad? Isn't it? Aren't you supposed to be doing a whole milk?
I think so.
So I want to know
how many
calories
are
are in a gallon of whole milk here.
Because if we're saying 2 tubs of cottage cheese, that's a little over 1,000 calories.
This label from a Walmart one, bring it up. Let's see this big here. This is showing servings 16. Damn. God, that just seems like way too many calories. 16 servings of 150 calories. How many is that?
Wow. A lot.
1,500, like 22,
Yeah,
22
2,000.
2,300 calories.
Yeah, over 2,000.
That's, let's just be real. That's too many calories.
Yeah.
You don't want to be doing that many calories of milk in a day. That's too many.
That's a dirty, dirty bulk if you're...
God. And it's only, I mean, a serving.
Well, is there a lot of sugar in that or not? Maybe I'm wrong.
Look, but this right here,
There's a lot of fat, I suppose.
it's hard to say it's a high protein food when it has the same amount of protein as fat. It's 8 grams of fat and 8 grams of protein. And actually, it has 12 grams of carbs. So, like, it's not... those aren't very good macros. Like, no one would...
Protein is tied for the lowest macro and the...
Right.
It's
Like,
tied
no one
for
would...
low macro.
If that was a
Yeah.
food, no one would be like, oh, this is a great high protein food. No one would
Right.
recommend that.
Right. It's a very calorically dense way to get a shitload of calories, but there'd be other ways to do that are less punishing.
Oh man, I did not realize the macros on a whole milk. Wow. Yeah, 8 grams of fat, 8 grams of protein, 12 grams of carbs. Like, if you wanted more fat, I would just rather eat peanut butter sandwiches than drink that much milk in a day. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't that be more enjoyable for your gut too?
Yeah, I just come back to a tub of cottage cheese a day as just a far superior.
Okay, yeah. If you're chasing just calories, cottage cheese and peanut butter sandwiches, man. I mean, that's like, it just sounds like a great time.
Now, wait a second. Just to be clear, are you saying a cottage cheese and peanut butter sandwich?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying they can be enjoyed separately. You know, mixing and matching here.
What do you think about? Because some people like to. Do you ever eat any? People mix their cottage cheese and shit and mix shit.
I don't like that.
You don't do that at all.
Don't like that.
I don't do that either.
In fact, I haven't even been putting salt or pepper on mine lately. I just
don't do
eat
that.
it straight.
You don't need if
unadulterated,
it ain't broke, don't
straight
fix
from
it.
the source. Just give me that pure.
They
stuff.
already made it perfect. Like you don't need to put. It doesn't need to be seasoned.
You don't got to dumb it down.
They already made the perfect food. Like, who am I to think that I know how to?
Who am I, Chef Boyardee over here?
Emerald Lagasse, thinking I know how to improve cottage cheese. Be like, yes, here's the Mona Lisa. Allow me to touch this up a little bit.
Get Super Chef Bobby Flay up in here doing whatever he's going to do to this thing.
Yeah. Like, Statue of David, you missed a couple spots. Let me, old Michelangelo or whoever. Let me throw my expertise in it. It's just like no, they made cottage cheese perfect. We don't need
I've moved on from salt.
Peaches in it.
I was gonna say so. I've moved on from salt and pepper. I understand why people put that in there. Sure, I don't fault you. You can do it. Not necessary. Not necessary, but. The people putting fruit in it is the most. I mean, talk about ruining something that is just perfect in its own way. The peaches thing, like that looks like punishment to me when I see that. Like if you gave me a tub of cottage cheese and put peaches in it, I'd be like, I'll just go to the store and get my own. I guess this is awful. I could not imagine that actually being an enjoyable thing at all.
I could eat it just fine because I like those two things, but I would never do it.
You like those two things together?
I could, yeah, I could.
No,
I mean, I would not
dairy.
choose to do that.
No, I don't want dairy mixed with my fruit. Like that does not.
I definitely could
my
do
cottage. You know, it's not
because I have had like cantaloupe before, and like I'll put like.
No.
A cantaloupe on my fork and
it.
dip the whole thing into the tub of cottage cheese and have cottage cheese on it.
No.
And when I say into the tub of cottage cheese, that's how I eat it. I'm not dumping the cottage cheese. I also don't know the point of dirtying a bowl. when you're having cottage cheese?
That's what I've actually been considering. I'm like, I still put, well, I already have a plate, so I'm just dumping it on my plate. But I'm like,
Right.
you know, for the most part, I'm the only one eating this. I could just
It also
eat it straight
comes
from
in
the
its
thing.
own bowl.
Its own self.
That's the beauty of cottage
bowl.
cheese. Yeah,
This nice single serve 22-ounce package.
It's like when we have Go-Gurts at home, and my 3-year-old insists that we dump it into a bowl, and I'm like, this is a portable eating container in itself. We don't have to dirty. And it's like, no, it has to be in a bowl. And I'm like, I feel like we're missing something here. That's what cottage cheese is. Comes in its own single serving 22-ounce container. Some people put it with savory stuff though too.
Yeah, I could understand that a little bit more, and having some type of beef and rice or something, and then when I'm done as my dessert, you throw the cottage cheese on the plate and it's got some sauces on it or something from there.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I get that one a little bit, but I'm still like, well, it's kind of messing with the flavor profile here though. I'm not staying true to the material.
You know what? Here's a hack. What it partners really, really well with. This actually goes back, dovetails in with a long running Massenomics bit that we haven't relived for a while. Is pizza and milk is one thing, but if we're gonna have pizza, something I really like to have with it's cottage cheese, because I've got all this horseshit pizza that I'm stuffed down my gullet. Like I'm getting a ton of carb. I mean, like I do it all the time. I'm not faulting people for doing it, but you know what really spices that meal up? Like, oh, let me just throw a protein rich. That's my main macro here. Along with it, I'm like, I just turned this into a terrible nutritional meal to like, whatever, it's like, this kind of works.
I like that you referred to cottage cheese as spicing something up.
Let me spice this meal up a little bit with some cottage cheese.
With this nice white saucy cottage cheese. Real spicy. Things are gonna get spicy in here today.
Yeah.
I agree. I did that last night. Also tonight, we had Sloppy Joe's. Cottage cheese
cottage cheese
nicely
meal.
with some Sloppy Joe's.
Well, cottage cheese is a side, because like if I
here's another
with
pizza, it's like you're bringing the ranch right to your home. You're bringing the pizza ranch.
Right. Here's another thing it goes great with. I historically on record, I'm not much of a French fry guy, but I like a good cheeseburger. So at home, if we're grilling burgers, I could have a couple burgers and a
couple tubs of cottage cheese.
Tub of cottage cheese, and that's my meal. My side is the cottage cheese.
It is. It's a
rather
great
than
meal.
just the carbs of the fries. Cottage cheese, and it's also ready to go too. There's no prep work on the cottage cheese. The worst part about the prep of cottage cheese is the first time you get a fresh tub of having to get the stupid plastic thing off.
How clean is it going to rip off?
There's nothing better than a fully clean rip off,
clean tear off.
And there's nothing worse than a really bad where it's like, okay, it's still around like 70% of the rim, and I cannot not get it off.
I can't say I've had much of an issue with that. Maybe I'm just getting lucky with what
different brands are probably different too.
Cheaping out on that seal.
Or the glue or whatever that is.
The glue they're putting in there.
The secret is the glue is also just the cottage cheese. They just use that as the glue.
It's all cottage cheese. Always has been.
Always has been.
I think the most shocking thing to me from this discussion, though, is that the macros on a gallon of whole milk are just shockingly bad. Just 16 servings. So you're doing all of that for like 100 and some grams of protein.
Right. Oh. You just have 2 tubs of cottage cheese.
For that one. And also, like, you're just getting like 2,000 and some calories before you've ate any food. Like, that's a pretty serious bulk. That's a pretty serious dirty bulk at that.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
I mean, that is just if you're just straight up, no, I need calories anyhow, anyway. I want to gain 10 pounds in 4 days.
If you're in a really bad spot and I want to take some very quick, drastic measures.
And I want to feel terrible while I do it.
Like, if your well-being is not to be considered at all, that is an option, I guess.
Yeah. Like, I really just need to pack on pounds of fat. How much fat can I put on in how short of a period of time?
With suboptimal calories.
Yeah, if that's your goal,
we got a solution.
Yeah.
In constant gastrointestinal distress.
That's
You will
right.
feel terrible. You will look terrible, and you will gain weight.
Like, well, I guess.
So, are there upsides?
Tell me about
to
the
this?
pros. Yeah. Tell me about the positives.
There's some
again.
protein, more than just cottage cheese. No. More than just like a couple protein shakes. No. More than just eating a diet with a slight amount of effort. Nope.
Will you be shitting your brains out? Well, yeah, you're going to shit your brains
absolutely.
out. You're going to be on the toilet a lot, and it will not be solid.
Yep. You will hate yourself.
Are you lactose intolerant? Because if not, you're going to be. All right. Let's land this puppy. But first, I want to tell you about the Strength Co. Check them out over at thestrength.co. Also, OK Podcast, still going, up and going. I think Grant's buddy is, God only knows where he's at by this time, and they still haven't missed a week of the OK Podcast. So go give the OK Podcast a listen if you haven't already. And then once and only once you've done that, head over to thestrength.co. Check out their plates. Made in America, black, easy to grip, E-coated, machined edge, go-to plates of Massenomics Gym. They've been the go-to plates of Massenomics Gym for like almost half of a decade now. You go in, you see these plates, they get used and abused every single day for half of a decade, and you look at the plates, and they almost look brand new still. So that says something about the plates. Also, they just look the coolest. I love the way that they look on the bar, and you
funny
think that doesn't matter. It matters.
Funny marketing line for those. We say smooth yet easy to grip.
Yeah.
The other day, in the rack in my gym, on the change plate when I have it down low, and my boy's grabbing them off, and he goes, "These ones are easy to grab." And I'm like, yes, they are.
Did you like look at him twice and be like, "Are you messing with me?"
Kind of.
Did somebody put you up to this?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Who told you that? Daddy, these ones are easy to grab.
See, that's when kids say it, just like, like there's nothing more honest than a kid.
That's not just a marketing slogan.
That's
Just the
legit.
truth.
Yeah. Check them out at thestrength.co.
And this episode is also brought to you by Barefoot Shoes. Barefoot Shoes make some of the best barefoot, all natural, flexible, everything shoes for you on the market today. We're big fans of the Ursus low top shoe, the black canvas and a gum sole to be specific. It's got that classic under the cover incognito look, but gives you the great feeling you get from a barefoot shoe. Right now, if you go on the Barefoot website, you can get a pair of them. A pair of our favorite options right here. The Ursus Low Top, $89. Use code Massenomics. You can save another 10% on that, bringing you to about $81 for a pair of those bad boys. And that
Damn, that's a good deal.
is $81 well spent. Other options, they got the Oso slip-ons. They got the Ursus and high tops, also available in a suede option as well. And then they have the Bruin boots too. So if you are in need of some barefoot boots, they got the Bruin boot or the Bruin Patriot option if you want a made in America, more premium boot. That one does exist as well. Once again, you go to barefoot.store, and when you're there, use code Massenomics and save 10% on your next order. Thank you, Barefoot Shoes.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
When's our May drop?
Oh, wait a minute.
What? Oops.
That's a week from tomorrow, I think.
Yeah. We never mentioned it on this whole episode.
Damn it. Start it over.
All right. Back from
You know
the
what?
top.
We're
What
2
was it? We
hours
talked
in.
about the
Screw it.
pre-show or
All right.
whatever.
Put back in the Discord. We're getting the pre-show going again.
Yeah, we do have a drop this week, the week that you're listening to this on Thursday. So be on the lookout. It's actually a really big drop too.
Mm-hmm.
Since we've already talked all night, I won't go into details, but there's 4 items in the drop. it's a lot of really good stuff. Honestly, like I think that a lot of it's going to sell well. Something's completely brand new we have never done before. Something's a twist on one of our most popular products we've ever done before. New flag in there. I'll tell you one of the things is a new flag, and there's a tee that's in a color that we've never done a color even remotely like this, and it looks so cool. I've got it over one of my shoulders right here. I haven't worn one of these yet, but the color on this tee is freaking sweet, and it is on a Comfort Colors like what we're both wearing right now. It's the slightly more generous fit Comfort Colors tee, and the color is freaking sweet. Yeah, so check all that out. Should have mentioned that earlier, probably, huh?
Please buy it.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll mention those things more again next week, too. All right, Tommy, where do they find you at?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Bear. Just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.